Good afternoon, fellow train fans out there. Want to welcome you aboard another Train Tuesday. Looks like we got a pretty full house. Let's see who we have out there today. We've got Angela, Bradley, Chris, Amy. Let's see, Anthony, welcome. Joseph, welcome. Glad to see you guys are making it here today. It looks like it's a hot one across the country. It's 83 degrees here in East Central Illinois. We got Steve, Kyle, Chris, Western States Railroading. And you got Joel, Michael, and Alabama District Rail Fan. So we got some great guys, great gals. Got a lot of great folks here coming on board today. We got Ricky Knight, Ted, and where's Terry? There he is. There's Terry, Kenneth. It's great. So yeah, man, I hope you guys are staying cool. One of the best ways to stay cool is to work on your layout. It really is. I mean, the benefits and health benefits of working on your layout this time of year are astronomical. I mean, think about it. While you're working on your layout, you can stay properly hydrated with a proper cup of, nicely chilled sweet tea, or maybe water if that's more what you are into. You can be in a nice air-conditioned area. You don't have direct sunlight on you. And you can get some work done on the layout. And maybe that's why model railroaders are so healthy all the time, because we're playing it safe, staying out of the sun, not getting heat stroke, and working on our layout. Now, for everybody out there, I'm going to do one more shout out and then we're going to get started. But for everybody out there today, for all the HO guys, I have something for you. And for all the N-scale guys, I have something for you too. So we've got a two-for show, and then we'll do some quick rail fanning and some Q&A. And I also got some news about the SD60M Triclops that I want to share with you. So stay tuned for that. So who else do we have? We have, Daniel is here from Montreal. And we've got Tyler. That's right. And D'Angelo. Thanks for coming on board. Bob. There you go. Bob is so health conscious that his treadmill is hooked up to a DC generator that powers his layout. That's what we call red-green engineering, and I salute you. That's good. All right, Eric, welcome aboard. And Lex and Brad and Lee. Thanks for coming on board today. So, yeah, I've got some HO and I've got some N-scale I want to talk to you about today. So on the HO side, these are under the ready to roll line. And of course, on the N-scale line, they're both the same. I'm going to share my screen. And so what you see on your screen is available in both HO and N-scale. So let's go ahead. And let's start with the 52-foot Mill Gondola. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on these so you guys can see what we're offering. Okay. Now I'm going to try something. Let's see if this will work. I'm going to try to zoom in on these a little bit. I'm going to get out of the picture, and hopefully you can still hear me. Let's see if I go like this. There we go. Now, can you guys still hear me? All right. So these 52-foot Mill Gondolas, what we're doing with these is they're available in two different ways. We're offering them in 3 different single packs. Okay, so if you just want one Rock Island, one Washington Central, one Wisconsin Central, you can do that. But within those singles, you've got 3 different road numbers to choose from. But we're also offering them in one multi-pack. Now, each multi-pack is available in 3s. Now, I'm talking about the HO scale ones right now. When we get to the N scale, there's going to be a little bit of a difference there as far as how they're offered. But for the HO scale, ready to roll, that's how we're doing it. Because a lot of guys like to make up complete unit trains of gondolas. And if you've got, let's say your layout's got a scrapyard, these are perfect for that. Typically, these gondolas will carry anything. If you've got a work train, you want to throw tie plates in there, ties, anything like that, perfect for that. I've seen telephone poles carried into these. They really have all kinds of different uses. Let's say your layout is so small that all you have is a team track, you can still grab one of these, because pretty much whatever you can think of somehow ends up in a gondola at some point. So here's what we have, starting off with a CIT group. And again, you've got 3 different road numbers, so you can buy this car 3 times over. And you've also got the 1 3-pack. That gives you up to 6 different road numbers to make up a complete train of nothing but CIT group. I know you're not going to want to do that. Now the next one, Kansas City Southern. This one is exciting because, check it out, it's prime for grime. And they're all going to be various states of disrepair, as you can see in this artwork here. The artwork just depicts one of them. But, I mean, let's be honest, these gondolas in real life, they don't stay pretty for long. And they're not really on the high end of getting repainted or anything like that. So this Kansas City Southern one is going to be very interesting for anybody that wants to get in on some weathering, and the prime for grime for this is just perfect. Now we also are offering the Northwestern Oklahoma. This is one that's actually, it's requested quite often. I'm going to scroll down so you can see it a little bit better. And, you hear me talking about the product suggestion all the time. And this is a result of that. We had folks asking for this line. This model came up, and we thought, you know what? Let's do the Northwestern Oklahoma. And so we're offering it here for you. And how about the Rock Island? Now, I was pretty excited to see we were doing the Rock Island one. And a lot of folks are probably wondering, most of the time, railroads just painted these black, or brown, or some kind of muted color. Did Rock Island really paint theirs blue? Yes. Yes, they did. When Rock Island was trying to change their image in the mid-'70s, they painted everything blue, including their railroad stations. It was something. Everything was that Rock Island blue for the longest time. And unfortunately, that blue lasted longer than the original company. The good news is the Rock Island is back. And if you didn't know that, do a Google search. Rock Island is back, and it's strong, and it's running, and it's cool to see that blue and Rock Island logo roaming the rails again. Now this one here, same thing. We've got it offered in 3 different road numbers, and it's available in a pack of 3. Now, if you want to be a stickler about what era that would be in, well, obviously it would be before 1980. So if you're running the 1970s and you want a good stand-in 1970s road for your industries, this one's the perfect fit. Going in a little bit newer direction, we did Wisconsin Central. And the Wisconsin Central has a cool paint scheme to it as well. Now, I do remember seeing these close to 25, 30 years ago up in the Upper Peninsula and parts of northern Wisconsin. And of course, they weren't as clean as this illustration is, but very, very easy to point out paint scheme. And this would be good for anything from 1980s, 1990s. And then last but not least, we have the Washington Central. That would be good into the 80s. So most of the cars that we've got here, these are good for 1980s. The Rock Island's more into the 70s. And a lot of these certainly, with some work, you could make these even to 90s and beyond. Because a lot of these will live on as a maintenance away type of car. So the possibilities of a gondola like this are virtually endless. So real quick, some of the features now, I'm going to talk to you about the features of the HO ready to roll. They're all going to have your McHenry body mounted couplers. The new 3-packs, that's going to make it easier for you to make a complete train. All the grab irons and the separately applied. You also got the etched end platforms, which is a nice feature to have. They all feature the 33-inch solid nickel silver wheels. That's going to work on any popular brand of track. I've said it before, I run code 70, and these have 0 issues on that. They're already weighted. You don't have to worry about that. Now, some guys that do the switching layouts, they like to go a little bit heavier than NMRA practice just because of the nature of what they're doing and since they don't interchange with other modelers. So if you want to make them heavier, you can. But these are pretty much ready to go right out of the box. And, you know, if you're running these on a home layout or maybe you run in a modular club, minimum radius on these is about 18 inches, which is pretty nice. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the road numbers again, or the road names. Because now we're going to talk about the features of the N-scale. The N-scale ones we're going to do a little bit different. Same road names, but slightly different features. So what we've done with these that's very similar to the HO is, of course, the same road numbers. We're offering them in 3 separate singles, and we're offering them as a 3-pack. Difference here, though, is, of course, it's N-scale. And it has a few different features that a lot of manufacturers have not been doing an N-scale, or they just started to do an N-scale, and it's something that Athearn's been doing for quite a bit. The biggest thing is body-mounted couplers. For years, the N-scale was known for having what they call a Talgo truck, and that was so it could get around the tight radius curves that were common at the time. N-scale's slowly getting away from that. N-scale's getting more and more prototypical, like its HO scale and O scale cousins. And we wanted to go ahead and be ahead of the curve. And so ours are body mounted. That allows us to allow the car body to sit at the correct height, not have that raised monster truck look that some of the older N-scale cars would have. And something else, too, that you don't see in N-scale, many N-scale cars, the trucks are held to the frame of the car with a pin, just a plastic pin that's just a pressure fit. After many, many, many years, those get loose, they pop out, you lose them. You never find the right one. Trust me, I've done enough N-track layouts in my years that that's going to happen. What we do is we actually use screws. And not only is it so it doesn't fall out, but that's also a way for you to help you to fine-tune your car. Typically, you want one car to have just enough side-to-side action so that it doesn't derail, and then the second truck to be not as much side-to-side action, but it's definitely smooth so it goes through the transitions of the curves just fine. And this allows you to do this in N-scale, something that HO scale guys take for granted. So, with that being said, if you're thinking about your layout right now, if you've got a switching layout, if you've got a home layout, if you've got a club layout, maybe your club is a modular club and you go to shows and you set up at shows. You're going to want one of these because they work with anything. The smallest switching layout, like I was saying, even if you just have a team track, you've got an excuse for one of these because these things carry anything. Like I said, I've got pictures of these holding telephone pole booths. Let's see, scrap metal, even aluminum. You see these in junkyards. You see these all over the place. And you see them a lot in rail yards because, again, they end up being used for maintenance away type stuff. So there you have it. There's the news on the mill gons. And I was pretty excited about these, especially in N scale, because my modular layout, the city job, the Galesburg city job, one of its biggest customers is Butler Building, which is a huge plant that built grain bins and dryers and things of that nature. And what did they get? They got metal. So they would get just strings and strings of these cars. Before the coil cars came in the 70s, they just get strings of these in all day. And these are perfect for that. That gives me a chance to update my fleet a little bit. Next, we also have some containers. The ones I'm showing are the N scale, but these are identical as far as artwork is concerned. They are identical to the HO. So these guys here, we went ahead and got the 45 footers for you guys because 45 footers, they're pretty common. You're going to see these all over the place, and you still see them very, very commonly. Now, granted, there's bigger containers out there. They've kind of taken over. But if you're somebody that's modeling the earlier container era, certainly, I mean, we'll look at the APL here in a little bit, but those were everywhere in the 80s and 90s. And again, these are being offered in both the Ready to Roll HO and the N scale. So we're offering these, and here we've got the KOBC, and we're also offering them in the NOL. Now the HO scale ones, just like the N scale ones, they're fully assembled. They stack easily. They're coming in 2 3-packs. So what you see here, they're available in 2 different packs of 3. Now, one thing I failed to mention too is the NOL in both N scale and HO, you've got the prime for grime. Faded out. That's where the developers spend a lot of time poring over photographs and then making the artwork so that it looks like it's got a sun-bleached look to it. It's been out and about, and all you need to do is apply some type of dull coat and apply even more weathering. But we give you the starting point right there. We also got the Crowley and the Dong Fang, both of which are available in 2 packs that include 3 containers each. And you remember we were talking about the APL? Well, here you go. One of the early names in intermodal. Horizon lines, we're also offering that in the prime for grime. And you guys have heard me say this before. you know, even if you've got the smallest of switching layouts and you don't even have room for a intermodal train, you can still grab these containers, and there's a number of reasons why. If you have a small switching layout, I've seen guys use these as backdrops, and they've used them as backdrops to make it look like their industrial area is by a port. I've seen them used as loads on skeleton cars, so you can park those in front of your different industries and stuff with your semi trucks. I mean, there's all kinds of things. You don't have to just think about the actual intermodal train itself. All right, so like I said, those are available both in HO and N, and you have until next Friday. Believe it or not, next Friday is the deadline. Everything stops after Friday the 25th. I don't know where June's gone, but yeah, it's almost we're today halfway through. So, like I said, the 52-foot mill gonds and these containers, you can order these through your dealer today through next Friday the 25th. And like I said, these will probably go quick. The gonds actually go quick. I think a lot of people forget just how versatile those are. Okay, before we get to the the rail fanning part, I wanted to share with you guys about the SD60M Triclops. We have been working very hard on getting that situation taken care of. And if you're not aware, if you bought an SD60M, the Genesis 2.0 Triclops this past spring, and the bearing cap popped out and you're having trouble with it derailing, stay tuned. We did find an issue, and our developers have been hard at work on resolving that issue. And now what we're working on that solution so that you can fix the locomotive. Now, those parts that's going to be part of a repair kit, they're in the works right now. So we hear you guys, and we're going to fix it. And we're getting everything together so that when the time is right, you can go ahead and get your repair kit and get those SD60Ms out of the deadline and back onto the main line. So just wanted to let you guys know what's going on. We haven't forgotten about you. And just because it's quiet doesn't mean we've forgotten. We are working on stuff. So we appreciate your patience. Now, as far as Railfan today, I looked all over. I went from the East Coast. I went to the West Coast. I couldn't find a virtual camera that had trains. I'm hoping we still have luck here. I'm looking at Washington State. Wow, there's nothing there yet. So let me try something else real quick. Okay, here we go. I think I got something for you guys. There we go. Train. Okay, so with that, we are ready for your questions. And I think I see one right now. Probably not July, but we announced that we're working on it. Developers are working on it. So it's not far off the radar. For us to come up and say, hey, this is what we're doing. A lot of the research, a lot of the hard work, a lot of the heavy lifting's done. Hey, check out the Southern Gone. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. AC 4400s are going to happen. I don't have a release date on them yet, but they are coming. July, don't forget, next Friday, the 25th at 3:30, we do our live announcements, and you're going to want to be here. There is a big release that is coming out for July. Chris, let's see. Yeah, so we're hoping to have these ready by the we're looking at about August 1st. That's what we're looking at. We're working extremely hard to get everything together so that you can punch in the necessary information and we send you the kit and you get it working. Now, I've talked to John, our lead developer, and he said it's a very easy process. If you can do a number 5 coupler, you can do this. This is not hard at all. It's literally don't worry. It's not like sitting down for hours and working on something. It's sit down, do a couple of things, and you're done. And the other thing too is when we do future releases of these locomotives, this will never happen again. So. Jonathan, yeah, I see your request occasionally. I mean, we do some of the short lines. Your best bet, though, is to really go to our website. And I know you probably get tired of hearing me say that, but that's really going to be your best method of perhaps seeing what you want modeled. Go to our website, go to our contact us page, and go to product suggestion and put that in there. Let's see. Any plans for an SW1000 and an SW1500? I don't know, Eric. Would you like one? Here's a good question, and we'll kind of put Eric on the spot. How many out there would be interested in SW1000 or an SW1500? Now, I know personally I would, because my HO scale layout is 7.5 feet long. It's not even 8 feet long. And it's 14 inches deep, maybe. I take that back. It's 18 inches deep. It's basically 2 4-foot Fremo modules stuck together. And it's kind of hard using a 6-axle locomotive as a switcher in that situation. The smallest locomotive I have currently was the new GP18s we came out with. So I'd be interested in one. How many else are out there like me that have a small home switching layout? Do you know if the next run of GP 40-2's Athearn will have a main central 40-2? I don't know. And when you say that, I'm going to assume you're talking about Guilford / Pan Am era, not the original main central era with the goldenrod. It really just depends. Depends on how many people want that road. So here's a comment by Lee I'm going to throw up there. I had a branch line switching layout, but I'm in 65, so I'm in need of SW8, 9s, and 1200s. Yeah. Yeah, for the guys that are, modeling the older era stuff, you would not even use a GP9 as a switcher per se. So, I've been going to that show for well over 22 years, and I don't know if I'm not sure if I'm going to make it this year. Actually, I usually bring my Galesburg City job there to set it up, and life has taken a few changes and curves, and I'm not sure. I might go for a day to kind of check things out, but yeah, we'll see. But if you see me, say hi. I got time for one more, and then we're gonna go ahead and pull the pin. Let's see what else we've got. I'll grab you, Rick. 40-2 is the correct nose going to be tooled for the SP and SSW versions. It did not have class lights. I have heard the guys talk about that. We have two that I know of in the development that are huge SP fans and very well knowledgeable on the SP. And I've heard them talking. Now, what their conclusion is I don't know. But, we do know about it, and we're hoping that we can help you out here in the future. All right, so that's going to conclude our show today. Don't forget that next Tuesday, we'll be back for Train Tuesday, same time, 3:30 p.m. Central Time, and then also next Friday, the 25th, at 3:30. Now that's why the train left. Look what's going on the tracks. Next Friday at 3:30, we will have our special announcements, and who knows? It may be from the Train Tuesday studio, or it might be from a location that we normally railfan. Who knows? So stay tuned for that. And until we see each other again, I want y'all to be happy, be healthy, do some modeling this weekend, stay cool, and above all, high greens, everybody. Take care.